This video is made possible by the following sponsors. Make sure to check out their products as well as the rest of my gear in the description below. Hey guys, apparently extremely pale boy here, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa for another video. Today is a day that I treat myself and drive one of my childhood icons, the Ferrari F40 from 1987. This frankly beautiful machine is powered by a 2.9 litre twin-turbo V8, good for about 470 brake horsepower. That power, coupled with the fact the car weighed about 1,300 kilograms, means that at the time of production, it was the fastest production car in the world, managing 201 miles per hour at top speed. I think the first time that I found out about this car was that infamous video of a Japanese businessman maxing it out on, I think, a Japanese highway. The video is down below in the description. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it as well, but just that and the way this thing looks, to me, this was everything a supercar should be. I had posters of this car all over my wall when I was younger. So today is slightly different because I'm not going to be putting on my Oculus Rift. I'm going to be doing this lap of the Nordschleife and debuting the McLaren edition of the HTC Vive Pro. Wearing a McLaren headset and driving a Ferrari? Probably sacrilege, but who cares? Let's see how fast we can lap it around the Nordschleife. So then, here we are inside the Ferrari F40, one of my favourite cars from my childhood, and it's fair to say that when you're inside the cockpit here, it's fairly bare bones. In fact, you see that little bit of string there on the door to the right? That's to open the door because door handles are too heavy for this car. So in terms of setup, I have not really done anything. In fact, I'm even running the street tyres, and the reason that I'm running the street tyres and not the semi-slicks, which of course would be faster, is because I use street tyres with the Roof CTR Yellowbird, which did a 746.9, if I remember correctly, and I want to see how this compares. But anyway, let's put that 2.9 litre V8 twin turbocharged engine to work, and there I am, hit with a big old dose of turbo lag as we pull away. So the main thing you're going to hear from this car is just the turbo. You can see the boost pressure gauge there just to the bottom right of the dash. We're going to try and keep that as high as possible for the majority of this lap. Nice and easy through here. The street tyres don't give that much traction out of the last corner. Sideways, and away we go then for our lap at the Nordschleife in a Ferrari F40. Very, very early braking here over the rise. The tyres don't give us much grip. And now downhill. You might notice, by the way, we are in a snowy Nordschleife, but the track conditions are actually the same. It's just a nice little thing I put on because it's been snowing here recently in the UK. So I thought, why not? Why not have snow at the Nordschleife? Easy now for this first section between third and second gear. You see how soft I'm being with this car. It's a car that demands you treat it nicely. You can't rag it around, otherwise it will go around at the rear. This car is mid-engined, and you very much feel that when the car starts to rotate. It's very, very hard to bring it back without having a big moment of opposite lock. Soft through here, and now we can actually start to let this V8 engine breathe a little bit. See on the speedo there, 360 k's. That's a little bit enthusiastic. We'll be lucky to hit 300 k's, I think, on this lap, but that's still incredibly fast from a road car from 1987, of course. This car really designed to go back to being a racing or a fast sports car as opposed to luxurious cars that Ferrari had been producing at the time. And as a result, I think this car is one of the most popular Ferraris in the world, getting up to 7,500 RPM there. A bit late on the brakes. Now I hugged the corner on the left there to give me room in case I went wide there. It might look like I'm really driving slowly around here. That's just about as fast as you can drive this thing without having it understeer off or locking the brakes. Both doing that. You can see a very quick end to your lap now. Down through the wintry trees. I'm getting a nice feeling of Christmas here, despite the fact it's passed a little bit, but it's a nice late Christmas present to myself. Now up the hill, we got on the brakes very early. We use the uphill to slow the car down to third, over the curb on the left, then down to second. Keep us tight onto the right-hand side curb as possible. We could use first here, but it's just a bit too short. So we're going to roll through in second, try and keep some boost, watch out for the curbs, and then power on exit. Rear end is all over the shop. Nice and easy. I think that tree there didn't get the memo that it's winter, but maybe I'll have a word of it later on. Don't really drive many road cars here at the Nordschleife, so it's kind of odd adapting to how these things drive compared to racing cars. You have to be so much more patient with every aspect of the driving. The car is, whilst it is of course a sports car and designed to go quickly, it's not designed to go quickly in the same way race cars are. Third gear through here. It's so easy through here to clip that curb on the right and spin the car. I've done it a few times in practice. Luckily the skip marks of shame aren't there. Through miss, hit, miss. Rear end tries to come round. That's what I was talking about for that mid-engine there. Bit of weight at the back, and once you start going round, it's quite hard to stop it from continuing. Easy through here. You can hear the brakes, a little chirp of lock up there. I wasn't really on the brakes at all, but the car still wanted to stop. I love the oversteer in this thing. You feel like a hero, but of course you're just losing time. But heroic loss of time. I can deal with that. Easing the throttle through here. The back end still trying to step out, even about 50, 60% throttle. It still wants to come round. Now we hit the full 100, and you see just squirrely at the rear. It might look like I'm just going for the 50s style of driving when you do that, but that is just the car moving around and me reacting to it. Very tiny. Also, my micromanagement of the steering. Second gear through here, easy, easy. So the front end not really complying. So we try and straight line on the exit as much as we can. And luckily we can keep it flat for a little bit now. Here the turbos behind us, just sucking away like the good girls they are. Oh God. See how the car is just moving all over the shop now. Fourth gear, so keep waiting, keep waiting. We aren't going to shift into fifth up here, but I am going to have to get off the power a little bit. And now down to third for this left-hander. It's good to use the gearing to slow the car down a bit. It's almost like a historic F1 car in that way. You don't rely on the brakes all the time because they're just a little bit on edge. As I say that, I go a little bit too fast there into the right-hander, just about keep it, and now all the way back down to second gear. We don't really use first at all here on this circuit. First is too short, so effectively for most of the lap using just 3 gears, which is second, third and fourth of course, and then fifth is pretty much just for the straight. Second gear into the carousel, triangle it in nice and neat. Oh, we got a little bit far out, just about managed to save it. Back on the power, easy on the exit though, because the rear end is, as you can see, unsettled by the elevation change. Now uphill, just blending the brake with my left foot there. You get between left foot and right foot braking in this kind of car. Makes you feel cool when you're doing it, of course, but when you watch it back, you're like you're just having some sort of weird seizure with your feet. Second gear. Just nice and easy on the power and exit. Wait until the car is straight, then you get on the power. None of this smashing the throttle and exit stuff. Third gear through here, I can just about see the exit, so I'm going to just throw it on the right into the curb, nice. Ride that four-wheel slide through there. I'm going to try third through here. I've been using second in practice, but I think third's going to be a bit better. I say that, second for the downhill definitely. Just to make sure the car is pushing out too wide when we're going downhill there. Third temporarily, then back down to second for YouTube corner. You see how tight you have to keep it there. You can't run it through. There's a tiny bit of downforce going on in this car with that very cool looking rear wing, but it doesn't really do much, to be honest. It's more for looks than anything else. Very Ferrari. See, you can hear the rear tyres just scrambling for grip whenever the revs peak. That's the car braking loose. You can hold the brake through there, making sure to get nice and tight to the curb on the inside, then it just drift out on the exit. You have to be very fluid driving this thing, although it looks like I am struggling a bit. Fourth gear early. Now we can just try and straight line this bit through here, nice. Hold the throttle down, 220k, it's about 140 miles per hour before getting back on the brakes again, down the third. Again, soft on the way in, just easy. Introduce it to the corner, don't throw it in. Now coming up to the second carousel. Oh, I might hold second gear. I am going to hold second gear there. You can see all the power just comes in one big lump right at the top. Proper turbo this. I'm going to try and keep it in third through here. Brake so early, you have to. You just have to in this car. And now we're finally going to get to see what this car was claimed to be now. The fastest production car in the world in 1987. Coming down the back straight. Flat shift it into fourth gear because we're a drag racer now. Watching that speedo climb ever so slowly. Then 7.5 just passed into fifth gear. We're now in top gear, 280 kilometers an hour, 290 kilometers an hour, nearly at 300. We'll get 300 going down the hill here, going right over to the right hand side of the track to give myself the smoothest line through this left hander. Very nice through there, looking down, just peaking over 300 k's. Now we have to get on the brakes, we can't go any further, or we will not stop for this part. Just back on the power temporarily. Struggling to get the car slowed down, just about got in a bit of understeer there on the exit. Softly now, number 7, 46.9 to beat for the roof even. Across the line, and it's a 7:42.5. I am very happy with that. I am happy to see the F40 beat that roof. Man, that was a lot of fun driving this car. I kind of like going back to road cars like this every now and then, because you get a little bit complacent when you drive the faster stuff in sims. You think, oh yeah, I can just throw it at this corner and it will stick. Not so in this. I mean, I didn't mention at the start of the video, but this is just the stage 1 version of the Ferrari F40. There is a stage 3 version, which has about another 200 horsepower. But I wanted to drive the stock version, see how it compared to the roof, and of course I am very, very happy with the results. But guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, of course, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos and streams. Let me know what you think about the quality of this video in terms of recording. You might have noticed that I'm now in the centre of the car as opposed to over to the left. And hopefully it looks a little bit smoother on your end. I made a couple of tweaks just to try and improve your experience when watching. Thank you so much to my patrons and to my sponsors. Take care, have an awesome day, and I'll see you all next time.